And now for something entirely different.
You're very excited.
Oh, this is just really cool. This is just really cool. The only exposure I ever had to such a thing was the silly Seinfeld show, and I'm sure Ashley just never gets sick of that comparison, where George Costanza once had a short career as a hand model,
Right.
And they really do have these parts models. And I saw the CNN story about one Ashley Covington, who is a professional hand model, and I thought we got to talk to her. Ashley, hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are y'all doing?
We are great. Thanks for making a couple of minutes. Now,
Of course.
are you okay? What are you holding the phone with right now?
Well, I am holding the phone right now with my right hand.
But is it gloved or ungloved?
It is actually ungloved. I'm taking a risk and talking to you guys
Wow.
this morning. You know, I'm taking a chance.
Do you okay? When people find out what you do for a living, not in the business, obviously, just whatever, a friend introduces you to somebody, do they just ask you a million stupid questions, and does Seinfeld always come up?
Oh, pretty much. Seinfeld comes up, I would say, 96.5% of the time. And then the other 3%, is Zoolander. And then the other 0.5% is, what? Are you crazy?
Of course, Zoolander. Now,
Face and body boys, man, breed apart.
Now, is there a hierarchy? I know you from your website that you actually do other parts of your body too, legs and feet. Is there a hierarchy of parts, models, depending on which part you have that's model ready?
Well, most definitely. Hands are the hardest and most working, well, not hardest, but most working body part in the business, followed closely by feet and then legs. And then you've got your butt models, your boob models, your nose models, your stomach models. I mean, if you've got a body part, there is a model for it.
they have nose models?
They do.
What kind of campaigns do you need a nose model for?
Oh, all sorts of things. I would imagine there was that
Allergy
that
medicines or something?
sniffer commercial where there was that large nose sniffing.
Right.
So some agent out there had to go find that perfect nose that was exactly the right size in order to sniff for that campaign. I can't remember the product, but I remember the ad and thinking, ooh, somebody had a hard time finding that nose.
That's almost our point, though. It seems like kind of limited if you're a nose model. But so a beautiful hand is much more rare than beautiful legs or beautiful other parts.
Well, it's just more workable. There's more things in advertising that need a great-looking hand. Like if you turn on the TV, all those hands that you see reaching in and picking up the product where you think it's a part of that other face actor, it's not them. It's the hand model.
Wow.
Yeah, or if you see the beautiful supermodel and her gorgeous hand comes up to touch her face to show that awesome, face powder from Maybelline or L'Oreal or wherever it's from, that's probably not her hand if it looks great.
Well, have you ever been a stunt hand for a famous person?
I have indeed. I have lended my hands to many famous gals, including like Brooke Shields, Charlize Theron, Adriana Lima. So I've been sort of a Victoria's Secret model.
So do a lot of the face models have like really crappy hands?
Well, what it is there's two things. Number one, they are so slender just to be able to have those perfect bodies and faces, for the marketing, that their hands are the first things that show age and show stress. And I'm not supposed to really lose much weight because then my hands start getting a little thinner or bonier.
Right.
But also it's hitting that mark repeatedly over and over again, and the finger control and the steadiness that you need to have to be a hand model, most people don't have that.
Now, wait. Now, see, I read about this, so I already know this. But at first blush, you read this, and you're like, wait a minute. You're saying it's physically actually very hard to be a hand model. For example, if you're doing some shot where your finger has to be reaching in for an on-off switch, but you have to hold the arch of your finger just correctly so that you're not blocking anything, and you have to do that over and over for multiple takes. And you're actually saying that it's physically hard.
It is. Well, a lot of times there are huge lights and flags and everything in your way, so you have to become kind of a contortionist and get your head out of the way and no shoulders in the shot, and can you please just remove your hand and leave it in there and get the rest of your body out there? You have to be able to do that, and then you have to be able to do these motions over and over and over in exactly the same way without your finger going up a 16th of an inch or down a 16th of an inch, each and every time. And most of the time, you can't even see your hand.
Ever get a cramp? Ever have to cancel a shoot because you got a hand cramp?
Well, when I did a shoot where I had to hold my arms straight up in the air for hours, and they had placed bracelets on there in just a certain way, so I couldn't put my arm down ever, and I think I was in that position for like 4 hours. After a while, you go a little numb.
So is a liver spot or eczema or something, is that just the kiss of death? Is your career over if you get one of those?
It is indeed kiss of death.
You can't just Photoshop it out?
Well, for TV commercials, no.
It's harder, yeah. For print, maybe.
I mean, for print now with Photoshop and all that, there's all, sorts of tricks and things that they can do. But really, why is this client going to want to spend so much money in retouching when they can just hire someone who does have a perfect hand?
We're talking with Ashley Covington, yes, professional hand model. Now, is this true that you have to wear gloves most of the time?
It is indeed.
Is it like the oven mitts like George Costanza had to wear?
Well, I don't wear oven mitts. I've gone a slightly less bulky route, and I just wear nice little cotton gloves, and I do that to protect against the sun, protect against scratches, but also imagine if you're walking down the street and somebody bumps into you with a briefcase and it has a buckle on it. If I get scratched, I'm out of work.
Okay, if you're dating a guy, and I don't know if you're married, but either way,
I'm not.
Okay, so you're dating a guy. How committed to the relationship do you have to be before you let him hold your hand? Like, will you sleep with him before you let him hold your hand? Because the hand is very important.
Well, it depends on where we are. If we're outside in the sun, I mean, those gloves stay on. Sorry, baby, you got to deal with it. But if I trust him and he's a special guy, I'm not that crazy about it.
Did you ever yell at somebody because they came close with something sharp to your hands?
Something sharp? Well, I remember one time I was shaking somebody's hand and I had to be like, gentle, because they were really squeezing.
That could end your career right there. And you can make big money.
One handshake and it's over.
That's right. CNN says that you could make more than $1,000 a day being a hand model.
You can. And you can also make less than that, too. There is a wide range of it. But depending on the product, where it's being used, this, that, and the other, how many commercials you're shooting in a day, it can be a great deal of money in a day. But you don't work 5 days a week.
Do they need...
I don't work 9 to 5 days a week. If I did, wow.
Right, then you'd be rolling in it. Is there ever a need for love handle models?
Love handle? I don't know. I should ask my agent. I'm sure there is.
Because I do it for like $20 an hour. I mean, I don't need to make big money.
Okay, I'll call my agent and put in a good word for you.
How did you get into the business? At what point did you realize, hey, my hands are special?
I never did. What happened was I was a theater major in college, and I was just trying to get headshots taken after school, and the agent basically said, forget your head, it's these hands, and I thought she was crazy.
How quickly after she noticed how good your hands were did you get your first paid job?
Like 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. It was about 2 weeks, and then, slowly over the years, it started picking up, and it's been my full-time job for the last 7 years.
Did you ever have a product, like I'm sure you have like the elegant stuff, like the engagement ring, but did you ever have kind of like a sillier or embarrassing product, like a comfort wipe or something like that?
A comfort wipe? I've done poise pads.
Really?
Where I had to pour pouring the blue liquid onto the pad.
That's right, yeah.
Had to do that with another hand model, so we both had to time it exactly.
Oh.
So we were pouring and pulling and squeezing all at exactly the same time.
Hand-on-hand action.
Yeah, and that was funny because that blue dye stains your hands. So
oh, my God! Well, they better...
Yeah, you had to wash your hand immediately after. Like, they had people standing on either side of us with wipes that as soon as, they yelled cut, we could turn and clean our hands and get the dye off.
So,
go ahead, Bill.
Are your hands appearing in any current campaigns where we could see them?
Yes, they are. Right now, they're Miller Lite, a bunch of commercials on the air for that. There's Dawn dishwashing detergent, TGI Fridays.
Well, what do you do in the dishwashing detergent commercial?
I sort of, tell the sexy purple sponge, and show him how lovely the dishwashing soap is because it won't ruin my hands and it will keep it absolutely fabulous. And he's sort of, the Latin lover sponge talking about how fabulous the hands are.
Now,
it's a really cute commercial.
Now, we've heard of guys with a foot fetish. Are there any men who have a hand fetish? And if so, have you ever been recognized just for your hands?
Well, luckily with the gloves, that takes a bit of the recognition. People don't really recognize me on the street. They just think I have leprosy or a germaphobe or something. But I've definitely gotten some strange emails.
Oh, that's disturbing.
Yeah,
All right.
most definitely.
All right, Ashley Covington, thank you very much for telling us about this odd line of work. We appreciate it.
No problem. Glad I could lend a hand for y'all's show.
Oh God! All right,
Had to do
Ashley.
it.
Thank you, Ashley.
All right, bye.
Wow.
At least she's got a sense of humor about it.
Yeah, if she's making $1,000 a day, why not laugh about it?
Yeah, that's weird.